Once Upon a Time in America arrived in 1984, and Sergio Leone gave the world a nearly 4-hour crime epic that most directors wouldn't have had the courage to attempt, and the cast he assembled to bring it to life? Their stories after this film are almost as dramatic as anything that happened on screen. Number 1. We have Robert De Niro, who played Noodles. He was 39 years old when he played the aging gangster consumed by decades of guilt and betrayal, carrying the weight of an entire lifetime of regret across one of the most emotionally exhausting lead performances ever committed to film. In 2026, Robert De Niro is 82 years old. He has been married twice, first to Deani Abbott from 1976 to 1988, and then to Grace Hightower from 1997 to 2018. And at 79 years old, his partner Tiffany Chen gave birth to their daughter, making him a father of 7 at an age that genuinely shocked the entertainment world. He also faced a high-profile lawsuit from former assistant Graham Chase Robinson, who sued him for gender discrimination and was awarded $1.2 million in damages in 2023. Noodles spent a lifetime carrying guilt, and De Niro has never exactly had a quiet life either. Number 2, we have Tuesday Weld, who played Carol. She was 39 years old when she played the tough and damaged woman caught inside a world of crime and compromise that swallowed everyone around her, bringing a raw and unsentimental quality to the role that matched the film's unflinching tone and reminded everyone watching how criminally underrated she had always been. In 2026, Tuesday Weld is 82 years old. Then her life story starts long before this film and is genuinely one of the more remarkable in Hollywood. She suffered a nervous breakdown at age 9, struggled with heavy drinking by 11, and attempted suicide at 12, all while working as a child model and actress. She married 3 times, to screenwriter Claude Hartz from 1965 to 1971, then to actor Dudley Moore from 1975 to 1980, and finally to concert violinist Pinchas Zukerman from 1985 to 1998. Carol was shaped entirely by the world around her, and Tuesday Weld was already a survivor long before the cameras rolled. Number 3, we have James Woods, who played Max. He was 35 years old when he played Noodles' brilliant and treacherous best friend, whose betrayal forms the devastating core of the entire film. A performance so sharp and controlled it stands as one of the most memorable villain turns in American cinema. In 2026, James Woods is 78 years old. His post-film career included acclaimed work in Salvador, Ghosts of Mississippi, and Casino. But in recent years, he became far better known for his outspoken conservative views on social media, which he claims led to him being effectively blacklisted by Hollywood. He has been married 3 times, to Catherine Morrison from 1980 to 1983, Sarah Owen from 1989 to 1990, and Sarah Miller, whom he married in 2021. He also faced a notorious lawsuit involving actress Sean Young in the late 1980s, a messy public dispute that kept both their names in the tabloids for months. Max betrayed everyone, and James Woods has never stopped starting arguments. Number 4, we have Joe Pesci, who played Frankie. He was 39 years old when he played the volatile and unpredictable gang member whose crackling, dangerous energy gave the film some of its most tense moments, even though at this point his truly iconic roles in Goodfellas, Casino, and My Cousin Vinny were still just waiting around the corner. In 2026, Joe Pesci is 83 years old. His personal life has seen its share of chaos, with 3 marriages and divorces over the years, and a particularly public engagement to model Angie Everhart in 2007 that fell apart after just 1 year. His most dramatic off-screen story came through his ex-wife Claudia Harrow, who was convicted and imprisoned for conspiring to have her next husband murdered. A genuinely shocking headline that kept pulling Pesci's name into the news, despite him never being implicated in any way. Frankie was the loose cannon of the group, and Joe Pesci's real life was never exactly short on drama. Number 5, we have Treat Williams, who played Jimmy O'Donnell. He was 30 years old when he played the union boss whose dangerous alliance with the gang gives the story some of its most politically charged moments. A performance that showed the commanding dramatic presence that made him one of the quietly respected actors of his entire generation. In 2026, Treat Williams would have been 74 years old. After this film, he built an impressive body of work through Prince of the City, Dead Heat, and the long-running drama Everwood, where a beloved role introduced him to an entirely new audience for several seasons. In his personal life, he married Pam Van Sant in 1988, and the two built a deeply private and stable life together in Vermont, raising 2 children far from the Hollywood spotlight, which by all accounts was exactly where he wanted to be. Tragically, Treat Williams passed away on June 12, 2023, following a motorcycle accident, and the outpouring of tributes from across the industry was immediate. Number 6, we have Danny Aiello, who played Police Chief Aiello. He was 49 years old when he played the morally compromised police chief entangled in the same corruption surrounding the film's central characters, a performance built on the grounded authority that made him one of the most reliable and beloved character actors in American cinema. In 2026, Danny Aiello would have been 93 years old. His career grew stronger after this film, earning him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor for Do the Right Thing in 1989, a role many still consider his finest, and one that cemented his place in film history permanently. In his personal life, he was married to Sandy Cohen from 1955, right until his death, a devoted partnership of over 60 years and 4 children that his colleagues always admired deeply. He had a light-hearted public moment recording an answer song responding to Madonna after featuring in her Papa Don't Preach music video. He passed away on December 12, 2019, at 86 years old. Number 7, we have Burt Young, who played Joe. He was 42 years old when he played the dependable crew member whose presence added grit and texture to the sprawling world Sergio Leone was building, with such meticulous patience across the film's extraordinary runtime. In 2026, Burt Young would have been 86 years old. Beyond this film, he is best known as Paulie Panino in the Rocky franchise, a role he first played in 1976 and returned to across multiple sequels spanning decades, making him one of the great recurring faces in one of cinema's most beloved series. He was married to Gloria DeLuise from 1961 until her death in 1974 and never remarried, devoting the rest of his life to their daughter and to painting, through which he built a genuine second career as a prolific visual artist. He also served in the United States Marine Corps before acting ever found him. Burt Young passed away on October 8, 2023, at 83 years old. Number 8, we have William Forsythe, who played Cockeye. He was 27 years old when he played the silent and lethal member of the gang, whose barely contained violence gave the film some of its most unsettling undercurrents. It's a character who communicated more through presence than words, and stayed lodged in your memory long after the credits rolled. In 2026, William Forsythe is 70 years old. After this film, he built a long career playing dangerous characters in The Rock, Raising Arizona, and the acclaimed series The Cape, becoming one of those faces audiences instinctively associate with menace the moment he appears on screen. He has been linked to various partners over the decades, but has never publicly confirmed any relationship or discussed his romantic life in interviews, keeping everything about his personal world completely sealed away from the press throughout 4 decades in the industry. Cockeye never needed words, and Forsythe rarely wastes them. Number 9, we have James Hayden, who played Patsy. He was 28 years old when he played the young gang member, whose addiction storyline brought painful vulnerability to the film's otherwise hardened world. A performance that drew on something deeply real and gave the whole film one of its most heartbreaking threads. In 2026, James Hayden would have been 71 years old. His story is one of the most tragic connected to this entire production because he never got to see the film released. While filming, he was receiving standing ovations on Broadway for American Buffalo, playing a drug addict with such raw authenticity that Al Pacino was personally trying to help him overcome his real heroin addiction. He was married to Barbara Hayden, though the couple were reportedly estranged in his final months, and he had become involved with another woman before his death. James Hayden died of a heroin overdose on November 8, 1983, at just 29 years old, months before the film opened. Number 10, we have Darlene Flugel, who played Eve. She was 28 years old when she played Eve, the woman deeply connected to Noodles, whose quiet emotional presence ripples through the story in ways that only become fully clear once you understand the complete shape of what Leone was building across the film's extraordinary runtime. In 2026, Darlene Flugel would have been 73 years old. She continued working after this film, appearing in Running Scared in 1986 and To Live and Die in L.A., building a solid body of work through the decade before her career gradually wound down. In her personal life, she married Michael Michelangelo in 1983, and the couple had 2 children together. Staying married for over 2 decades before parting in 2004. Tragically, she was diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's disease in her 50s and passed away on December 15, 2017, at just 64 years old. A heartbreaking end to a life that deserved far more time. Number 11, we have Larry Rapp, who played Fat Mo. He was 34 years old when he played the deli owner and childhood friend who becomes the emotional bridge connecting the film's past and present timelines, a role that required him to anchor the most delicate narrative transitions with nothing but quiet loyalty and genuine feeling. In 2026, Larry Rapp would have been 76 years old. Despite delivering one of the most memorable supporting performances in the film, he appeared in very few other productions throughout his career, remaining a near-mystery figure in Hollywood terms and becoming a cult figure among devoted fans who always wanted to know more about the man behind Fat Mo. Very little public information exists about his personal life or romantic relationships, and he maintained a profile so low across the decades that his passing on January 18, 2011, at 63 years old, barely registered beyond the devoted community of people who loved this film. Number 12, we have Richard Bright, who played Chicken Joe. He was 45 years old when he played Chicken Joe, bringing the kind of weathered authenticity that only a character actor with decades of experience can deliver to even the smaller roles in a film of this scale. A face audiences already recognized from The Godfather that made every scene feel more grounded the moment he appeared. In 2026, Richard Bright would have been 88 years old. He was married to actress Rutanya Alda from 1977 right until his death, a long and devoted partnership that produced one son and gave both of them a stable personal foundation through decades of working in one of the most unstable industries imaginable. His death was as sudden and shocking as any Hollywood story. Struck and killed by a tour bus while crossing a street in Manhattan on February 18, 2006, at 68 years old, with the driver initially cited for failing to yield. Number 13, we have Elizabeth McGovern, who played Deborah. She was just 21 years old when she played Deborah, the beautiful and ambitious young woman whose rejection of noodles sets in motion a chain of longing and loss the entire film is built around. A performance of remarkable poise for someone so young, stepping into a production of this scale. In 2026, Elizabeth McGovern is 63 years old. Her personal life had its own dramatic chapter when she became famously engaged to Sean Penn after meeting him on the set of Racing with the Moon that same year, before eventually calling it off. She found lasting love with British director Simon Curtis, marrying him in 1992 and raising 2 daughters in a stable and devoted partnership. Her career found a remarkable second act through Downton Abbey as Cora Crawley, a role that made her a household name all over again with an entirely new generation of viewers. Deborah chose a different life, and Elizabeth McGovern built a beautiful one. Number 14, we have Olga Karlatos, who played the woman in the puppet theater. She was 34 years old when she appeared in this atmospherically charged role, in a film where even the briefest appearances carry weight, and audiences already recognized her from a very different context, having become infamous 4 years earlier for one of the most shocking moments in horror history in Lucio Fulci's Zombie. In 2026, Olga Karlatos is 78 years old. She was married to French-Greek filmmaker Nikos Papatakis from 1967 to 1982, and the couple had a son together, a marriage that placed her at the heart of European art cinema during one of its most creatively fertile periods. What makes her story genuinely extraordinary is what came after acting entirely. She retired from film in the early 1990s, studied law, moved to Bermuda, and eventually became a Supreme Court justice there, one of the most remarkable career pivots of anyone connected to this entire film.